Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets. We have a really interesting mix this week. Lots going on. We're going to hit some surprising hardware wins, maybe some misses too, talk about the best TV value, some AI stuff, even a bit of courtroom drama with big tech.
Yeah, it's quite the range. And I think the theme today really is about figuring out what's actually new and valuable versus just another small step up. We're looking at where the real innovation is happening from these huge tech power plays down to, well, some very personal smart features.
Okay, let's dive right into hardware then. First up, this Acer Chromebook Plus Spin 514, the 2025 model, getting some buzz.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating because it's such a mixed bag. Like the performance, genuinely good. It's got that MediaTek Companion Ultra 910 processor and the benchmarks, and they actually show it beating the Intel Core 3000U in multi-core tasks.
How interesting. So that MediaTek chip, the ARM one, it actually pulls ahead of Intel in this case.
Yeah, in those specific multi-threaded jobs, ARM architecture can be super efficient. And that efficiency, well, it ties directly into the Spin 514's other big win, battery life.
Yeah.
It's excellent. You can easily get into a second day of use.
Okay.
Plus, it supports USI 2.0 styluses. You know, the Universal Stylus Initiative makes it easy to just grab a pen and have it work.
Right, stylus support is nice,
Yeah.
but then there are the downsides, and they seem pretty major. The speakers, rated D, that sounds pretty bad.
They are. Reports say they're crummy, muffled, and the placement is weird too, flanking the keyboard. Just not good sound.
And the screen, an IPS touchscreen, which sounds okay, but only 300 nits brightness. That seems low.
It really is. Especially for a convertible you might want to use, you know, outside or in a bright room. 300 nits just doesn't cut it. A C's grade screen, basically.
So you put that together with a $699 price tag, it feels off. Especially when there's a Lenovo model with an OLED screen and more RAM for only $50 more.
Exactly. That $699 feels steep.
Yeah.
You're kind of hoping for a sale, maybe down to $599 to make it really make sense. Relying on future discounts is always a bit of a gamble for consumers, though.
Yeah, fair point. Okay, quick detour into audio. The Beats Powerbeats Fit. Sounds like they're fine, but not amazing.
That's the gist. Slightly better, but not the big upgrade people wanted. The key thing for you listening is the price. At the $200 list price, probably a pass. They don't have enough new features to justify it. But if you see them drop, say, below $140 on sale, then maybe they become a decent value. Just don't pay full retail.
Got it. Price sensitivity is key there. Okay, now let's pivot. Big news from Peloton. Their biggest hardware update since, what, 2014?
Yeah, a major overhaul of their cross-training line, bike, tread, row. And the physical upgrades are smart. Better ergonomics, definitely needed. And that 180-degree swivel screen, that's huge for doing floor workouts off the bike or tread.
Right, no more neck craning.
But the real headline, the thing that maybe justifies the higher membership cost, it's the AI, Peloton IQ.
Okay, Peloton IQ. This sounds like more than just classes. It's like actual personal training built in, using the camera.
Precisely. It watches your form through the camera on that swivel screen. It gives you real-time corrections. It suggests weights, counts your reps for you, and builds personalized plans blending cardio and strength. And crucially, it pulls in data from your other workouts. Stuff tracked on your Apple Watch, your Garmin, Fitbit. It integrates it all.
That's a big ecosystem play.
It is. And yeah, the membership goes up to $50 a month now, which is steep. But that level of AI personalization, it's a totally different value proposition than just streaming classes.
That shift from just content to personalized integrated coaching, yeah, that feels significant. Okay, let's shift gears again. Displays. The eternal question. What's the best TV to buy right now?
And what's really interesting here is that the smartest buy is often last year's model. Our sources are pointing to the LG OLED C4, the 2024 model, as basically the best TV value for 2025.
Wait, the 2024 model? But what about all the hype around brightness? Like that TCL QM8K mini LED hitting over 3,000 nits? That sounds incredible.
That brightness number is insane, no doubt. And for really bright rooms, mini LEDs definitely pump out more light. But OLEDs still have that unbeatable edge. Precision, perfect black levels. Contrast that mini LED just can't match.
How come? Because OLED pixels turn off individually.
Exactly. Each pixel is its own light source. So when something's black, it's truly black. The TCL might be super bright, but you still get that blooming or light bleed around bright objects on dark backgrounds. Mini LEDs control light in zones, not pixel by pixel.
Ah, okay. So brightness isn't everything. OLED gives you that depth and accuracy. And the C4, last year's model, is now priced like a mid-range LCD, around $1,400 for a 65-inch.
Right around there, yeah. $1,397 was the price mentioned. So you're getting top-tier OLED quality for what used to be mid-range money. The advice really holds. Go for screen size first 55 or 65 inches minimum if you can, and look for that value in last year's high-end models, especially OLED.
Good advice. Now, speaking of upgrades, let's talk phones. Specifically, jumping from an older model, like an iPhone 12, all the way to the new iPhone 17. What are the big, immediate wins people notice?
Well, the sources highlighted 5 key things that just jump out at you. First, storage. The base model finally jumps to 256 GB. If you've been struggling with 64 GB, that's a massive quality of life improvement right there.
Oh, definitely. Running out of space is the worst. What else?
Battery life. It's substantially better. Partly the bigger cell, around 3,692 milliamp apparently.
Sure.
But it's also the A19 chip inside. It's just much smarter about managing power, background tasks, all that. You're not scrambling for a charger mid-afternoon.
Nice. And the display, finally getting that fast refresh rate.
Yes. The 120 Hz promotion display, it's been on Pro models, but bringing it to the standard iPhone 17 makes scrolling, gaming, everything just feel way smoother. Long overdue.
And the dynamic island, people actually finding it useful.
See so? For things like tracking timers, cooking timers, flight info without having to leave the app you're in, it's proving its worth beyond just hiding the camera notch.
Okay. Any downsides or adjustments?
Just one minor physical thing mentioned.
Yeah.
The new camera control button placement. It's apparently right where your muscle memory tells you to grip the phone sometimes, so people were accidentally launching the camera app until they got used to it. A small learning curve.
Gotcha. And speaking of the camera, center stage is still around for video calls, keeping you in frame. Can you quickly explain how to control that?
Sure. It's pretty straightforward. When you're on the front camera in a video call app, you'll see the usual orientation switch button above the shutter. Right near that, there's an icon that looks like a person inside a square box. That's the center stage toggle. Tapping that lets you turn the auto-zooming and auto-panning feature on or off. Simple as that.
Perfect. Okay, let's pivot to software. Spotify first. Forget lossless audio for a second. The sources suggest a quieter feature might be the real subscription saver. Spotify Mix.
Yeah, this is pretty cool, actually. It basically lets you be your own DJ. You can create custom transitions between songs in your personal playlists, make them seamless. There are presets like fade, rise, blend, wave, melt, even slam. And you can set the transition length 2, 4, or 8 bars.
That seems awesome for parties or just keeping a vibe going. Are there catches?
A few important ones. It only works on your playlist, not the ones Spotify makes for you. So the songs also need to have a similar key and BPM beats per minute. If they don't match up well, Spotify will just tell you it can't mix them.
Okay, so it's not magic for every transition.
Right. And the other thing is, it's mobile only for now. Not available on the Spotify desktop app yet.
Still, a neat feature. Okay, shifting software gears again. Apple brought a familiar Mac app to the iPhone with iOS 26 Preview. What's the big deal there?
It's actually a pretty significant upgrade for managing documents on your phone. Preview basically consolidates a bunch of useful tools. You get basic image editing, rotating, resizing, even background removal, plus really solid PDF tools, filling in forms, adding signatures, annotating, stuff you used to need separate apps for.
And document scanning, too.
Yep, quick and easy scanning right through the camera. It really makes the iPhone feel more like a capable device for handling documents on the go.
Nice consolidation. Now let's get into the AI heavyweights. Claude 4.5 versus Gemini 2.5 Pro. There was a showdown across 9 prompts. What was the outcome? Did one clearly win?
It wasn't really about a single winner. The big takeaway was how specialized these models are becoming. They have different strengths. Claude 4.5 really shone as the analyst. It was better at tasks needing precision, logical steps, tight structure. Think solving logic puzzles, creating a detailed travel itinerary with exact budgets, or mimicking a formal writing style like the New York Times. Claude nailed those.
Okay, so Claude for precision and structure. What about Gemini?
Gemini 2.5 Pro emerged as the creative developer. It won out on tasks needing more flair, creativity, or practical coding application. It wrote a funnier haiku, a better story for kids. And it was stronger on the coding side, like fixing code to use the right data type for financial calculations, or structuring a coding tutorial like you'd actually see it in VS Code.
Ah, interesting. So it's not about picking one over the other.
Exactly. The advice for you is, don't feel like you have to choose just one AI. Use Claude when you need accuracy, planning, and logical rigor. Use Gemini when you need creative sparks, humor, or help with practical coding and development tasks. They complement each other.
Makes sense. Use the right tool for the job. Okay, let's move into a major tech policy story. The U.S. Department of Justice trying to break up Google's ad tech business, specifically AdX and DoubleClick for publishers.
Right. And we need to look at Google's defense here impartially. Their executives basically argued that forcing them to sell parts off would be incredibly complex, a massive undertaking. One exec even used the analogy that replacing their proprietary database tech would be like trying to replace the Michael Jordan of databases.
Okay, that's quite the comparison. What's the actual tech argument behind that, though? Is it really that hard to swap out?
Well, the argument is about the deep integration and specialization. DoubleClick for publishers is what websites use to manage their ad space. AdX is the exchange where advertisers bid on that space in real time. Google argues this whole system is so interconnected, handling billions of transactions constantly, that pulling it apart and replacing core components would be technically monumental and potentially break things. That's the essence of the alleged monopoly's strength, the deep integration.
And the judge picked up on some tension during the trial, right? Google seemed willing to make some changes, but not others.
Yeah, that's a key point. Google indicated willingness to agree to certain behavioral changes like how they operate. But they explicitly refused, on the stand, to commit to lowering the commission, the take rate, they charge on the AdX exchange, which is currently 20%.
And that 20% rate is something the court had previously questioned.
Exactly. The court had suggested that 20% seemed high for a truly competitive market. Google digging in their heels on that specific number really highlights how profitable that fee is for them. It makes any potential remedy short of a breakup much trickier because the core economic incentive remains untouched.
Fascinating. Okay, while big tech fights over billions, let's zoom down to the community level. Apps like Ring Neighbors or Nextdoor, and the rules around posting about law enforcement activity, like ICE raids. What are the guardrails there?
Yeah, this causes a lot of confusion and frustration when posts get taken down. The general rule seems to be that posts get removed if they're too vague. Something like just ICE spotted in Bell Gardens. That's usually not specific enough. They also tend to remove posts that explicitly seem designed to obstruct law enforcement, or posts that are just expressing national political views rather than reporting a local event.
So what is allowed? How do you post constructively?
Specificity and locality are key. The post needs to be about a current local event that you observed. And you need to provide details, specific cross streets or an address or a business name like, I saw ICE officers knocking on doors near the IHOP on Florence and Pico this morning. Focus on the observable activity, the who, what, where, when, not just general alerts or political statements.
Observed behavior, specific location. Got it. Okay, final topic area. Health tech. And this one feels like a leap forward. At-home cortisol tracking.
Yeah, this is the Hormometer by Eli Health. It's pretty groundbreaking. It's the first system designed for consumers to track their cortisol levels. That's the main stress hormone in real time at home.
How does it work? Not blood tests, right?
No blood draw needed. It uses a small saliva sample. You collect it, use a reader, connect to your smartphone, and get results in about 20 minutes.
Wow. So you can get an actual physiological measure of your stress level quickly. How does this fit in with things like wearables tracking sleep or HRV?
It adds a crucial layer of context. We track sleep quality, we track heart rate variability, HRV, that beat-to-beat variation that reflects nervous system stress, but those are indirect markers. Cortisol is the direct hormone. So if your sleep app says your sleep was poor or your HRV is low, the Hormometer could potentially tell you why maybe your cortisol levels were chronically high. It connects the dots.
And does it just give you the number, or does it help you act on it?
That's the other key part. The app provides immediate, actionable suggestions based on your levels. If your cortisol is high, it might suggest specific relaxation techniques, maybe certain foods known to support brain health or lower stress. It closes the loop between data and action.
That link between the data and what to do about it seems vital. Really interesting trend towards personalized biodata.
Definitely, bringing clinical-level insights into the home environment.
Okay, let's wrap up with our fun niche gadget corner. First, the Fujifilm X-T50 camera, taken for a spin in Iceland. Sounds like it was a joy to use.
Absolutely. It's a mirrorless camera, great 40.2 megapixel sensor, solid autofocus. But the real fun factor, especially for travel, it has a dedicated physical dial just for Fujifilm's famous film simulations.
Ah, the Fujifilm looks.
Exactly. So the reviewer could just twist the dial and instantly switch between looks like classic chrome or Velvia or nostalgic negative. You get these amazing-looking JPEGs straight out of the camera, ready to share, no editing needed. Perfect for capturing the mood of a place like Iceland on the fly.
That sounds incredibly satisfying. And it held up in tough conditions.
Apparently so. Even though it's not officially weather-sealed like some higher-end Fujis, it survived heavy mist and rain in Iceland without issues, as long as it was paired with the weather-resistant WR lens. Pretty tough little camera.
Cool. And finally, the antidote to our big, powerful smartphones.
Yeah.
The NanoPhone Mini. What's the story here?
This is basically designed to combat doom scrolling and digital overload. It's tiny credit card sized. But it's a fully functional 4G phone. You pop your existing SIM card in, and it works for calls and texts.
So the point is just, its size discourages endless browsing.
Pretty much. The screen is so small that you're just not tempted to scroll social media or news feeds for hours. It's pitched as great for traveling light, taking to the gym, maybe as an emergency backup, a way to stay connected without getting sucked in. And it's currently discounted to around $90.
A mindful tech choice, perhaps? Okay, quite a journey today. We saw how last year's OLED TVs still offer amazing value, how AI like Peloton IQ is shifting from content to real coaching, and how specialized AI models like Claude and Gemini excel at different things. Plus, that contrast between huge tech monopoly fights and super personal health tracking like cortisol levels.
Yeah, and that contrast really brings up a final thought for you listening. We see these massive, almost abstract battles over ad tech billions. And then we see technology giving us incredibly intimate insights, like our own stress hormone levels in real time.
Yeah.
So the question is, as this highly personalized tech gets better and more accessible, whether it's AI coaching tailored just for you or detailed biological tracking, where do you think it will make the biggest positive impact in your life over the next year or so? Something to ponder.
Great question. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.